So I think the next project around here is going to be parts and pieces. I think this is a. I want to say this is a B43, B43M. Yeah, B43M. And this thing was put in. Pretty much, you run it for about a half an hour. It was actually slowly getting worse. Run it for about a half an hour, and then it would put all the oil up through the breather into the air filter. And right now I'm just draining the oil out. And the oil that's in here, I bet you it don't have 2 hours on it. If it had 2 hours on it, I'd be amazed, and it's black as coal. So that's telling me that it was putting compression in the crankcase, which is also telling me, I'm hoping it's just a broke ring is what I'm hoping for. To be flat out and honest with you guys, I'm hoping for a broke ring, but kind of expecting to find a really worn bore or something. So yeah, it's going to be the next adventure. So anyhow, till tomorrow night. Alrighty guys, so it's the next night. This is Monday night. I got the oil pan pulled off of Parts and Pieces original motor, or the what is it, B43M, something like that. B43 onan anyhow. And I'm just kind of looking for obvious things since I got the oil pan off. And the first thing that's raising question is, I think you guys can see. Camera gonna focus on it? There you go. See that split in the block right there? And I don't know if the camera's gonna show it up too well, but it's got like some weird spider webbing going on, is about the best way to explain it. Trying to look and see if I see anything weird. Other than that, this whole block just looks like it has casting flaws. I don't know. You guys can kind of see the stuff I'm talking about right there, like even with the connecting rod. But other than that, no like big chunks or nothing sticking out that I'm aware of. My only curiosity. Hold on, see if I can get the flashlight to stay. Is this metal particles there? No, that's all casting flaws too. So there's no real big red flags. I can see there's a little bit of wear. Trying to get it so you guys can see it. There's like a little bit of wear, like towards the, what I would call like the tips of the piston. I don't think you guys will be able to see it here. I swear the camera's like really grainy or something, but might not like the low light. But anyhow, not seeing any big red flags, so I guess the next thing I'll do is I'll pop the cylinder heads off and see what I see there. Kind of hoping for a broke ring or something. That would be kind of an apparent and easy fix, but if I pull it apart and see more, I see more. I don't remember which side was smoking. I want to say I got a 50-50 shot. I want to say it was the right hand side, but I could be totally wrong. But thinking it was the right hand side. But anyhow, let me take this thing apart a little bit more and see if I see anything. The nice thing is, the side I really am interested in, I had to pull the shroud off anyhow to get the oil pan off, so the starter would tip out real easy, or easier. So yeah. Okay, let me see what I can find here. Alright guys, so I got it apart. And well, I'm not 100%, but cylinder's not terribly bad. I've actually, maybe you can see better without. See, there's some light scuffing, but nothing crazy. Most of that dirt in there, I think I put in there trying to feel it. There's a slight ridge to it, but it's not bad. I can't quite catch my fingernail on it, but it's got some hours on it. It's an onan. This side over here is definitely worse. You guys can see it. This side had a big, I don't want to really call it a mouse nest, but it has a bunch of debris built up right around here and partway into the cylinder head. You guys can actually see where it's discolored there. So I'm thinking this side was getting extremely hot, and it was actually like boiling the oil perhaps. But there's definitely some scuffing going on there. And the rod from this side also tells a similar tale. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it. But it definitely had some junk go through it. This black in here is actually embedded in the rods a little bit, so, but there's no broke rings like I was expecting to find. I'll have to check these pistons over a little bit better and make sure they're not cracked, but I think in reality I could get away with new rings. Probably, I gotta see how much parts will be for this, is my main thing. Because it is the middle of winter, so I don't want to put too much into it, but the crank's not terrible either. Again, most of the dirt that's in there is for me taking the rods out. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to check this block over a little bit better, because I see this crack here, but it kind of, if you look up through the passage there, it terminates not too far up in there. So it's not going up into the combustion chamber. But this thing has so many casting flaws on the inside and stuff. I'm just going to look it over a little bit better. Near as I can tell, the pistons are standard. And I think the rods are too. I don't think this motor has ever been apart before, I would say. And then number one. I don't see anything on it. Now this side over here has me a little suspicious, the number 2s. You see how it's got the 2s in the rod cap and in the rod. Oh no, I guess they are there. This is just really faint. I don't think you guys will be able to see it. I had a tough time seeing it there at first, but there is definitely a faint 1 on that side. So, I don't know. Pretty much what I'm going to do is I'm going to look into piston rings and rods for this thing, because it ran good. It didn't knock or nothing. It had plenty of power. Just had the smoking problem and put all the oil up into the breather problem. So yeah, I think if we can get that figured out and put this motor back together, we'll give parts and pieces its howl back, hopefully. So I'm going to be fishing around for parts, see how much that's going to cost me, because you know, it's January, so that jingle, hard to get. I'm still full-time yet this year though, which is odd. So anyhow, I'm going to look around for that stuff. I'm going to have to buy a new cylinder hone because I wore that out doing the SR. And pretty much for teardown, that's going to be it for right now, guys. I just kind of wanted to tear this apart, see what was going on, see if there was any major issues that made this motor unrepairable, and I don't really see anything. That crack is not too concerning to me. It's kind of a little bit of a red flag, but what are you gonna do? So, but this whole motor from it spewing oil like it did for about the 3 times I used it and mowing with it, put dust and oil all over everything. The oil pan, shroud. So, alrighty guys, like I said, that's it. Look for some parts, and I'll get back at you guys with what I'm doing. Later, guys. Right now, it's got a Kohler single overhead valve 18 horse on it, so, yeah, you know.